Yeah, good. I'm actually going to say good morning to you from my little space here, and out in the middle of nowhere. It's like 5 in the morning where I'm coming from. I'm just waking up to share this a combination of a dream and a very important vision. A dream and a very important vision. So if you have the time, you you should listen to it because it might help bring a little bit of what the future, a very nearby future, might look like. So first off, I love Jesus more than anything in the world, and I mean that literally. He's my number one. He's my hope. He's my friend. He's my future. He's my comforter. He's everything to me. He's my Yahweh. He's my God. He is my Lord, He's my King of Kings, He's the only one who never turned his back on me. He doesn't leave me. He doesn't quit. He never quits. He's been there for me, and I know it from like season to season, in and out. And even when I didn't realize how much He cared and loved me, He was still there for me. He's been there looking out for me, protecting me, and the list is really endless. And it's important that I talk about these things, and because I've clearly and honestly seen the goodness of Jesus and of the Lord in my life. Leave alone the blessings. That's for another video. Yeah, but so I don't know about you, but for me lately, I have been it's like my vision or sight is changing. Now I feel like um, I've always, and don't worry, I don't own an FPV drone, so I don't even know how to fly any of those things, but I would if you gave me one to try. So, but lately for whatever reason, my sight view, kind of shifted from like being on the surface of the earth and then like above. It seems like I'm now seeing things from above. Even when I go to places that I've never been to, I feel like for whatever reason I can see things from up above now. Not like way up above, but from somewhere up here in the clouds. That's how I see things sometimes. Kind of weird, I know. But so I'm trying to get somewhere. Now, my dream, it's a combination, I told you, a dream and a vision of a future, a nearby future, I believe. So, it started when I was like out of here for some time, and then I came from outer space. Like I flew from outer space. I didn't have like an aircraft or anything. It was just me. Like I had the ability to do that, um, like shoot from one place to another just like that in no time. I didn't even have wings to begin with. Yeah, so I flew from a very very far, like distant place would be the right one. And then I came to planet Earth basically, and I landed on my feet. So for whatever reason, I think I wanted to see how my neighborhood um, looked like after not being around for some time. So it was like I'd left planet Earth for a few years, and then I came back. Like for whatever reason, I had no idea. I wanted, of all the places, I wanted to check what and how my neighborhood looked like. And so I landed I landed on the ground. No one saw me did that, but I knew that I'd landed. and I started walking around. It was so chaotic, not like the mayhem kind of chaos, but it was like the crowd, the the infrastructures had like drastically changed. Everything looked very um, different, and there were lots of people. Like it was so crowded, and it was like the guys from the rule, the guys from the. It was like all over a sudden everyone came to move to the urban centers. And I was like, I thought you were supposed to stay away from the town areas, from the city areas. The last thing you want to do, even moving forward, stay away from stay away from the city areas. It's not good for you into the future, moving into the future. So, but in my dream, I saw a lot of people, like this, my small town, that which usually would not have a lot of people, was like packed, solid packed, and there was so many people. And then there was, I lived like along the highway when you're driving into my small town. So, and it was like this huge, like a, I don't know, like a roadblock, but it was like they made it like some sort of a border, like when you're crossing a border and entering into another country, you know those the structures, like to secure, like properly secure the border, the boundaries. That those were the structures I saw in my dream, and I was like, I didn't understand. They would not let any um, uh, they would not let anyone drive into this small town. So many people, like way too many people. So it just I kept wondering why are there so many people. Like what happened in the like in the various places where they lived. So I'm thinking drought number one might have happened, and I don't know about the earthquakes, but drought of famine might have happened, and it's still coming. The fires might have happened, and it's coming. Uh, what else? The floods might have happened. In case it hasn't yet, then it's coming. The bushfires, it's coming. The heat, lack of water, clean water, food supplies, that's still drought or whatever. But yeah, you get the point. And then I do believe it's going to be like that time where you can't buy or sell without the mark. It will no longer be the V. That time is coming very swiftly. And I think in my vision or dream, it was already that time. So, and when that time comes where when you cannot sell or buy, then there will be a lot of changes about how the crop produce leave the farms and get into the urban areas, city centers. Things will change. There will be some people who are going to take the responsibility of food supply and distribution into their very own hands, and very few will be controlling that. So wait and see. All right, but that's not the point. So while I was trying to, I wanted in my dream, so I wanted to walk around a little bit and see, what changed, what didn't change, what still looks the same. Like when you're like far away from where you used to live, your neighborhood, and then you got a chance to revisit it. It was that kind of curiosity. So I was like, I wanted to walk around a little bit, but it was too crowded. Like it was way too crowded. And even though In real life, I never did like the crowded place. No, it's never been my thing. So, but in the vision of the dream, I was trying to maneuver, like find my way, get to it. I was like, wow, I mean, like, and then, more the other thing, there were soldiers everywhere patrolling. And when I landed on planet Earth, I think it was about 7 p.m. like in the evening, early start of the evening, late evening would be, I think. So for whatever reason, the rest of the people couldn't see me, but the troops or the soldiers who were patrolling the streets, they saw me. And I'm telling you now, because they could see me, something is not okay with them. Because no one was supposed to see me, but because they saw me, they could see me clearly, then I'm telling you, those are not, they're not going to be your normal soldiers. They might be your relatives or brothers, whoever, who went to serve many years ago. But whatever they're going to do to them, it's going to change them, make them turn. And that's for you to think about. This is not to scare anyone. So, but they saw me. So when they saw me, they could tell I was, a threat to them. So they were like, they started coming and running to attack me. Like in the not like the like kind of battle had, like how to fight had really changed. It wasn't like about fist or whatever. It was a different kind of a battle now. So when they were coming in large numbers to attack me, and I can still, even right now, I can still remember that very exact location that they were, when they started coming to attack me. It was around very close to a road intersection. So when they were coming, lots of them, I took off. I left the ground, like literally left the ground. Like just like that, I left and I flew away when they could clearly see me do that. And they were down there. I could see them. They were like, like where did he go? you know, because my mission was not to go, come down here and fight anyone. And my mission was different, and I'm not going to talk about it. So, and then when I flew and I left the ground, it was like I went back into I traveled back into time a few years. I don't know, but maybe a few years, or a few years probably. I traveled back. I'm gonna try to change my accent here a bit to fit the narrative. Alright, the recording is already going a little bit longer, but yeah, who cares? I do care, but a lot of people out there, I know you people don't even watch longer videos because it's boring. But in the boring stuff, you might learn some really important stuff, things as well. That might help you, moving forward, going upwards there. It's a big deal to get up there. A lot of people don't have clearance. So, so I left the ground and I went travel. I went back into the future a few years. So it was like so. But when this time I did not touch the ground because I could tell it was no longer safe for me. But I came very close, up here in the skies, the clouds, and I still had the same vision. So now I could see everything clearly, even buildings that had rooftops. My sight view would it would like I had this access like supernaturally. The, so for instance, I'm in a house right now, and you can see the ceiling. It's a ceiling, whatever they pronounce. But So I could see. So for now, I have sailing over me. So the side view I had would take away the rooftop, would take away the ceiling. So then I could clearly see the walls would remain, but they would not like block any of my sight. So my side view would be I would see everything clearly from above, and as if though the roof tops were not there. You know what I mean. So meaning that I could see everything clearly, like no one could hide from me, and I'm nothing. So it was about three. It was about 3 in the morning when I came around and started maneuvering, just checking on things. And it was that very moment when the big day, the biggest event happened, when the catching away happened. Yes, I'm telling you. Now listen very quickly. I'm not gonna delay here any longer. We'll try to wrap it up quickly. So um, it was that moment, that very instant moment, immediately after the catching away had taken place. It was so dark, but I had clear vision. But it was so dark for the people of the earth. And so my location was some place. I couldn't tell exactly where I was, but I know it was some place in Africa, a continent. And it looked a little bit like Nigeria, or Ghana, or Algeria, or um, you know, probably close to that. Those three places, not South Africa. For the first time in my life, but I don't know. But for the first time, I did get to I did get to hear so many so's, like S-O, so's, because there were many. I'm adding the other S. I heard so many of them, like so, like everybody was just kept saying so. They were gathered in many multiple bundles, like groups, one after another, like thousands upon thousands. And even though I could see from a limited location, but I could still hear, like I could hear the entire world, voices, in awe, like in wonder. And they were like, what just happened? You know, a lot of them, even the white people. So, I kept hearing that a lot. So, it was like they ran out of words. They didn't know what to say. And they were in panic mode. So, but for this very location, there were lots of people, women and men, a lot of them. They were like, you know, so, so, so what just happened, Like, so it happened. Where did they go? Trying to speak like they were speaking. So, so you mean they have left? They have been taken away. So, so what are we going to do now? A lot of so. And the ladies were running all over, and especially the ones whose babies were taken away. Lots of them lost their minds, and they went nuts, crazy, like just like that. They were running endlessly, no stopping. Some ran for multiple kilometers. They were not getting tired, they just lost it. Immediately that mom, they were running, women, mothers running. Like, where is my daughter? Have you seen my? They would like come to you and hold you and shake you. Like, have you seen my daughter? You just try to imagine someone taking a hold of you and shaking you, asking you a question and shaking you. Yeah, it was that bad. Have you seen my daughter? You must have seen my daughter. You know my daughter. Yes, my little girl. Have you seen my children? you know, don't lie to me. Tell me, have you? It was that bad. And then the one they were taking a hold of, they would also say, no, I haven't seen your child. I haven't seen your daughter. I'm also looking for my son. But in a more calm way. So it was so graphic, like total chaos and mayhem on the streets, live along the streets. These were like individuals, and a lot of them used to go to church, but they were living a double life. Like they were basically on the fence, one foot for Jesus and the other foot for the world. And wait up, it's gonna get more interesting. So people were running all over. They were men too, respected men characters, men characters who had a thing for Jesus, but they were not deeply rooted. There were pastors left behind. There were teachers of the word and of the gospel left behind as well. And some of them, their wives, their wives and children left, and they were running crazy. Some were running halfway naked. Yeah, because they were so confused and did not have any idea what was going on, and they were running around, knocking at doors and gates, and it was a gated community, to be more specific. Have you seen my daughter? Like, but sometimes they come to your house. Have you seen them? Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my kids? They were running all over and running and running. So there was this name, that the only name that came onto my mind. So okay, back to, they were like, so back to so the rapture just happened. So they have been taken, So they you mean they were not crazy? All those people on YouTube. So it is true. They have gone. Just like that. They are not here. So there was one name. It was just one name. Usually I would pronounce it Jerome, but in the dream, in the vision, they kept calling him. I would pronounce it Jerome, but in the dream they were calling him Jerome, like prophet or apostle Jerome. So, and I've never met anyone like that and heard of any false prophet or teacher or apostle by the name Jerome. But in the vision, he was living in a gated community, and he was living well. He had bodyguards, and he had a very, very big house, fancy. He was living well. He was a false teacher, a false apostle. So he didn't make it, and I could see him. So after the event that catching away had happened, I could see him as well. Even Holly that morning, he just came out like he was disturbed, not like the rest of the people. When you serve the devil, you know what to expect. So they took his chair out and a table, and they poured him a drink, and he was sitting on his garden. And I could see him from up here. And he was seated very comfortably. Outside his wall fence, people were coming and running to his house for answers. But he would not, he was just very, very reserved and quiet. But the people feared his home because he had security, bodyguards all around. But some people were knocking at his gate. Prophet Jerome, help us, tell us what to do. We know you're in there. We know you're right in there. We need answers. Please talk to us. Come out and talk to us. Tell us what to do. Show us the way. So he sent one of his men to go out and communicate to those guys. So he basically told one of his bodyguards to go tell the crowd that the apostle is still praying, spending time with the Lord. First thing in the morning, he's going to talk to you. So don't make a lot of noise. Don't go away, just wait out there. When he's done talking to God, I didn't hear the name Jesus. He's going to come out and talk to you and tell you what the Lord has said. There was still chaos and people, so a lot of people were running to Pastor or Prophet Jerome's house. So then I saw this other lady, she ran and came to the house as well. There were like a mob there, so many people coming and looking for answers. So this other lady came and she was shaking all over. Have you people seen my children? Have you seen my husband? Well, you know, that kind of stuff. And they were like, there was one other lady who said to her, shut up. Why do you think we're here? That's the reason we're here. We're looking for answers. And Prophet Jerome is coming out in a bit to give us the answers. So put it all together. You think we haven't lost someone? I have lost my kids. You know, so and so here, he lost someone too. And that was how mean and dark the people became in an instant, just like that. So fast forward very quickly. It was like the earliest of the dawn, like at 6:30, Pastor Prophet Jerome came out, and he had bodyguards still, and he told the people. And so when he just walked out, there was this one lady who asked him, so Prophet Jerome, is so, back to so again, it is true. And then Prophet Jerome said, yes, it is true. So the lady, so they have gone. And then Prophet Jerome like, yes. So, and then the woman was like, but why are you here? Because why did you not go? Why did the Lord not take you? And then he smiled, like, but while looking down and walking gently towards the lady. And he said in a louder voice, he wanted everyone to hear. And then he said to the woman, where do you think, who would you run to if I had been taken? Who would give you the answer? Who would lead you and guide you if the Lord had taken his servant? That's what he told them. And it's a complete lie. He didn't believe in God. He was not walking right with God. He led millions and thousands to the gates of hell and ruins. So he told this crowd the reason he was left behind was that so God was going to work through him to guide and show these people, the crowd, the dark world, the way. That's the end of the vision and the dream. We're living in some really dark times, the last days. So make sure you run back to Jesus. All these things haven't yet taken place. But I can tell you, it will come to pass. And it might be more than, the things I've described here. So stay blessed. May the Lord watch over you. Repent. Turn away from your sins. Confess Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Come to the gates of eternity through the cross. The cross is offensive to many because it does not suggest, but it demands a total change in lifestyle. The Lord Jesus, he is God and is coming back for the bride. The ones who are ready, the ones who want to be with him, the ones who love him, the ones who want nothing else but him. So prepare today before it's late.